So the next step I'm going to talk about is, working towards some of your details. For instance, in this video, I'm just going to go over adding the eyes. So I have two examples, the one I've been working on during class, as well as the one I kind of worked through for the previous video. So I'm going to save this one for class because I haven't done this demo yet for you guys, and I'm going to work on this guy. Again, before you move to details, you want to be totally happy with where your form is before you move to those details. So you want to pay attention to the shape of the face, that you're happy with that, the shape of the side of the face, that you're also happy with that. And I didn't work through as much on this that I did on the other one. But for demo's sake and for the video, I want to keep going forward. So I'm going to start with these eyes, and I want to kind of create a little bit of a socket here. And that socket, and if you need to pull, my clay is getting a little bit hard. I want to build a little bit of a socket where the actual eyes will kind of fit into. So I'm going to take a little bit of clay away. I'm using my paperclip tool. It kind of works as like a loop tool. And she has really pretty big eyes. One of the features of the boxer here. And I'll probably just work on one for the video. Building the socket, kind of really digging it out. And I could do it for the other one too, but I'll kind of wait here. So the next thing I need is a little eyeball. You can kind of roll it out in your hand for that eyeball. Again, her eyes are pretty big and they kind of fill the socket really well. I think, in the video that I showed yesterday, she does the pencil test where the, you should be able to fit your pencil kind of in and around. I think with her eyes, I'm questioning if that's just a little bit big. But I'm questioning if that's just a little big, and I might take a little bit of clay away. To kind of fit in the socket there. And again, I want to do that pencil test and see how my pencil kind of fits around it. You want the socket to be larger than the eyeball itself because we'll kind of fill in that area. I could maybe even smooth some of this out a little bit so my socket isn't so crazy there, or like strong line there. And I think that's all right. And again, you always want to kind of be looking. Yeah, I think that's all right. So the way the animal, and if you're doing a human, I suggest watching her video over again that I have posted on the Sway, because she describes it really well, and I'm just describing it as for kind of moving forward to an animal. I need the eyelid and the bottom eyelid to kind of go around. So I'm going to do the same thing that she did, where I grab a little clay. And I need a coil. So I'm just going to kind of roll it out in my hand and then determine, if this is too big or too small. And already I can see it's way too big. So I'm going to pull off a little bit of clay, roll out my coil again. And I guess in relation to my image here, that's not too far off. I wanted it to kind of reach right there. And I think when I squish it, just like she showed, so roll out a coil, check the sizing, squish it. There it kind of sits on top now. And, have that curve also. So that curve right there, so it can kind of fit inside. And I think because it's an animal, she kind of, for the human, puts it right in there. And I think if I look at Layla and I look closely at it, it doesn't have that inward socket. The eyelid kind of sits on top. And again, you just have to pay attention to your image. So I'm not going to set it in there, but I am going to kind of put it around her eye here. And I think I want that a little bit thinner. It's too chunky. I'll just kind of smush it into the clay here. And again, this might be a total, you know, totally off, total struggle. Ugh, I don't like that. And again, this is the first time I'm doing it. So I'm kind of learning as I go. She looks, because I have this little sort of indentation, she looks way angry. I think I just have too much clay, so I'm going to try it again. I wasn't happy with the way it was kind of coming out. So I'm going to try, like I said, and use a thinner coil, more clay, or less clay. So let me try that. Maybe I'll even take a little bit more clay off because I think it was maybe resembling of what I just kind of did. Smush the clay down. I want it really thin along the edge here. And I think I like that better. And kind of smush that into the head there. I don't touch that edge, just like she showed for the other video. Just gonna kind of leave that there, and I'm gonna make my bottom one and see how it comes out and if I'm happy with it. I just see so much of Layla's eye, where again, this is the first time I'm also doing it. So I'm kind of troubleshooting and figuring out, you know, what needs to happen. Again, I have too much clay, so a thinner coil, and I'm just rolling them out in my hand. Kind of fat right there in the center. Just kind of checking for sizing. And you're really seeing, again, a whole lot of her eye. So I might just take off just a little bit off the edge here, and I think that's okay. And then I'll smush it in to the clay here. Now, I fully see on my image that this is a really raised area for her. Like her lower eyelid is really pretty high up. So I think I'm going to add a little bit more clay also down here to really beef that up. And it's just adjusting and paying attention. Smooth that into the area. Now I've created this sort of line here, which I don't love, so I kind of got to dig in there maybe with my pencil. And that's quite a bit better. So again, I'm just going to kind of smooth out my line here. So just adjusting, looking. I also think, like, you know, just comparing it to the image, like I'm looking at it, I'm seeing where, you know, it just needs a little bit more clay up here also, similar to the bottom. Just a little bit more raised up. Just have to be careful. You got to smooth that also in. And then smooth. Oh my goodness. Sorry. A little bit of fuzzies on there, but that's okay. Or a little bit of clay junk. Smooth that out. And I think that's pretty all right. And then the same thing. I think I'm going to pay attention, and where my light kind of hits is where I will stick my little hole for her. She looks kind of angry. I don't love the whole idea. I almost would rather, like, I don't have a sharp pencil either. But I'm seeing only part of the area here, and then it kind of dips almost the whole eye, except for the top there. I think I don't like the circle because of the high contrast. Almost would rather see something like that that's not so high contrast, although when clay is leather hard, you know, it has that high contrast where it would kind of go away later. And spend a little bit more time cleaning up, and I think that's pretty, you know, pretty okay. I think I could have lifted this eyelid up, and hopefully I do better in class for you guys, or even better on this next one. You know, it's a struggle for me as much as it is for you guys, and you are just striving to do the very best that you can, okay? Stay tuned for, you know, the nose and some ears.